obviously returned back to Texas for you, Calamity. What are the emotions like to go back there and be where you guys are as a team and get a chance to go back there?
Yeah, obviously my focus is on our team, not me going back to where I came from. But honestly, one of the most exciting things about going back is I never got to play in the Moody Center. It was being built whenever I was there, and we were a part of pushing it in recruiting and really anticipating that building being a premier place to have concerts and basketball and all of the things in the country. Like it's a gorgeous facility. So super excited to play in the Moody Center, but more excited for this team to be back in the NCAA tournament and obviously traveling down to Austin this weekend.
What stands out about Creighton?
Yeah, they're really good. They're a veteran team. They're very connected. Their offense is clockwork. They play very well together. They're very hard to guard. So we've got to make sure that we're really locked in defensively in our principles and what we do. And if we play defense the way that it's designed to be played, we'll be able to do well. The outcomes should be good for us, but we've got to really show up and compete every single possession, play extremely hard because they are going to do so. And they're very talented. They shoot the ball extremely well, and they're very well coached. He does an amazing job. Amazing job.
From the carryover last year, how prepared is this team for the urgency of one and done, one or done? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. We talk about experience a lot. This team has gained a lot of experience over time, and honestly, we've got a couple new pieces too, and some young pieces. So it's up to the senior leadership of this group to really hand down the experience they have and really be great leaders as we move forward through this part of our season, right? We're in a whole new chapter of season, and that's exciting. But you have to be very intentional and use that experience to propel you into what you hope to go 1-0, one at a time, every single time. You don't get two without one. Coach Green's been saying it all week. You got to get one before you get another one. And so we're 1-0 all the way through. And I do think our experience will pay off for this group because they've been in an NCAA tournament. They've been deep in March and even in April, right? Which is eventually where we want to be consistently. So we're excited for that experience to hopefully pay off.
You mentioned their offense is like clockwork. They're also old too. So what's that combination allow them to do? An old offense that's experienced in what they do.
Yeah, they just read each other really well. They play together very well. They have great chemistry on the floor. So we've got to be really locked in. I mean, they're an impressive team, and they were top 25 all throughout this season, and we're excited to play against great competition. We know every single team in the NCAA tournament is good, or they wouldn't be there, and including us. So we're ready to go out and compete and give it our best, and hopefully go 1-0.
What did you see from your team in the WBSC run last season that you feel like can carry over and have that into the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, they were extremely competitive, focused, and connected. They bought into each and every game plan that we put together for them, and they competed like crazy. And they did it. We didn't do it. They did it. And so it's putting that accountability on them to take that experience that they learned and being so connected. And somebody's head's down, somebody lifted it up literally with their hand in the postseason last year. So we're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that carryover is there and that they remember what that looks like, so that can serve us well down the stretch.
To have 16 days between games, did you get a sense of just what that's done for the team in terms of the rest and maybe a difference in legs or whatever that might be this week in practice as you kind of build up to the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I didn't even realize it was 16 days when you said it. I was like, whoa, because we don't look at it that way. We don't go, oh, it's going to be so long till it's one day at a time, every single day. That's the one way. That's what we're about. So I didn't even register that it was 16 days. I knew we've had some days where we have had some breaks, and honestly, when they come back to practice, their legs look pretty fresh after that's happened. So Genesis was moving real well after that 2.5 days off. So, we joke about that, but everybody knows in full transparency, some rest for this team with our numbers has been great. Their focus has been great. They've been able to get in and get extra shots up, whether it's with the position coach or on their own outside of practice. And so this week has also been fun because we're in spring break, and so all they have to focus on is basketball rest, making sure that they're getting their sleep, making sure their nutrition's right, making sure that they're getting in with Autumn and Kylie and doing the things that they need to do. So I think it's been good. And then the other thing that we've kind of carried over from last season that I did mention is just we've competed like crazy, and that was our focus this time last year before actually entering into the WBIT. Everything's competitive, everybody's striving to be better, pushing each other and really being intentional in doing so.
Without having to scout for a team the last couple days or weeks, I guess, what's it been like just to clean up some of those things for you guys without the pressure of a 2-day scout or looking at the next team?
Yeah, absolutely. We've always been attention to the detail staff, and so being able to go back, it's kind of been fun because we went back to some of the initial drills that we do throughout the year, and it's kind of been fun for Cece and Erica to learn some of those drills, because those are going to be some of the first drills they'll do when they arrive again with our new freshman group. So we've taken it back to the basics a little bit to clean some stuff up, and it's been fun to like just see them, like when you see Adalia go through a closeout drill now in comparison to where she was week 1 of us getting here. That's fun to see in the last chapter. You get to see such a huge growth, and so we've cleaned some stuff up, put a lot of focus on just being really disciplined in the details.
Just that time around, Vic, coming back obviously with Shauna, but how impactful do you feel like that was in your development as a coach, and do you feel like that's kind of carried over to you coming back to with Shauna here at Illinois?
Yeah, so that's a great question, because I've coached, this is year 21 for me, and I've been an assistant the whole time, and I've worked for a lot of coaches, a lot of really good coaches. And each one of them, I've just kind of taken a part of them with me, right? You learn, you're a sponge as well as an assistant, soaking things up and also trying to pour in and help and assist in any way you can. And so Vic is a very, very, very good defensive coach. He's got a very talented team. He always puts a great product on the floor defensively, and I just learned a lot during my time there. And with every coach I've worked for, you take things, right, but not just on the court. You take the off the court things and different cultures, different way that they handle player situations, different academic plans, different calendar plans, how you practice, what the practice plan looks like. You learn a lot of different things from a lot of people. And my time with Vic, I learned a whole lot from him. And although it was short-lived because Shauna called, that's always my kind of joke. Like when Shauna calls, you end up going, oh, okay, let me see what, but just grateful to have learned from him. But if you really want the truth, I've learned so much from Shauna. I've learned so much from Shauna Green, being with her for 7 years and all the experience and the voice she's given me and allowing me to also be myself, and then making me a better leader. Like Shauna's the ultimate leader for me, and we've had a lot of fun together.
What's led Jazz to kind of handle this year? Because her role has changed so many different times this year. Yeah,
it's part of just who she is. Jazz is a very resilient young lady. She's tough, she's physical, she's aggressive, but she's also kind and considerate and really bright. And so, there's times where she moves over to the point guard. There's times where she moves over to the 2 guard. There's times she comes off the bench. There's times she starts. Like, Jazz is a whatever it takes to get it done player, and she's a true team player. And that's what we've always loved about her. So I think her just being who she is allows her to really get acclimated no matter what the situation is, and to persevere through whatever she faces.
What can this week do for Cece and for Erica, just to see this stage, knowing that they're going to be some of the more experienced players you have coming back next year?
Yeah, absolutely. That's part of the reason why we wanted them here, right? Like, even up to this point, they've been able to see different gyms in the conference, much less how we practice daily, how we handle adversity, what the culture's like, hearing our current seniors' leadership, which they would not have gotten next year. Kendall and Adalia and Jen and Bryn and Makaira, like, they're not going to be here this year. So they're getting to hear true experienced leadership. And then going to this NCAA tournament, like seeing what it's like, seeing what the schedule's like, seeing, all aspects, how we prepare with a 1-day prep, in the conference tournament, how you prepare, regardless of how many days you have. Like, they're just picking up on everything. So I hope and believe that experience will play off down the stretch. Just having 2 more players that everything isn't brand new is awesome.